Hi everyone and welcome to today's Cracking Comprehension. Our text today is called The Children of Green Know by L.M. Boston. So it is a book, so I've put a picture of the book there so you can see what it looks like. So let's get started. I should have said let's get cracking. Sorry, it's a bad joke. So predictions. First of all, I want you to have a look at the front cover of this book. And I want you to think about what it might be about. And then I want you to think about what makes you think this. So pause now and consider those questions. Right, what do I think it might be about? Now, I have never read The Children of Green Know. So just for me, looking at that front cover there, I thought, well, it could be children who end up staying in a strange house. The house could be called Green Know. Looking at their clothing, it could be that they are evacuees during World War II. So they've been sent from the city out to some country mansion. They then decide to go exploring forbidden parts of the house and they find out its secrets. What makes me think this? Well, the image looks like they're wearing clothing that's not totally modern. It's not very old-fashioned, but they look like they might be from about 70-odd years ago. The child looks shocked, as if somebody is coming to find them, or that they're in a place where they shouldn't be. So the house has a grand ceiling, and it's got paintings and a rather large mirror. So I think it might be a large country house. I'm not entirely sure what those strange people are in the reflection in the mirror. So there could be something that's not quite right there. And looking at the title of it as well, it says the Children of Green Know. It says the Green Know Chronicles. Now, if you've got something that's a chronicles, it means that there usually is more than one story. So it's a series of books. The honest answer is I don't know until I've read it. So, The Children of Green Know by Lucy M. Boston. The floods had begun to go down. Already Tolly could see spikes of grass sticking up through the edge of the water. The shapes of the lawns and flower beds were showing through the ripples round the house. He longed for the water to go, so that he could go explore the garden. When he came downstairs for lunch, Boggis, in long wading boots, was bringing in logs for the fire, making a big stack of them in the corner of the inglenook. "Good morning, Mr. Boggis," said Tolly. "Have you come in the boat? I forgot to look last night to see what it is called." "It's called the Linnet, Master Toseland. But I didn't come in it today. I came in my waders. The water's gone down lovely." "The Linnet?" said Toseland, turning to his great-grandmother. "Yes," she said. "There's always a boat called the Linnet on the river." "That's right," said Boggis. "There's always been a Linnet. This one's new, leastways not more than 20 years old. But I used to go out in the old Linnet when I was a boy, and my grandfather used to talk about fishing at night with torches from the Linnet when he was young. See, Ma'am, I've managed to borrow these from my niece, whose boy is in hospital." He held out 2 Wellingtons. "I reckon Master Toseland will need these. Isn't he the first bit of his grandfather? It might be the same come back." "Yes, he seems to belong here," said Mrs. Oldknow. "He had it all hidden in him somewhere. I'd like to see him finding his way about. Shall I take him out with me into the barn this afternoon while I cut wood, to keep him out of your way?" "He's not in my way at all, but I expect he would like to go." "Oh, yes, please." "Very well, Boggis. You can keep him till tea time. Goodbye, Toby." "You said Toby," said Tolly, pulling on his borrowed Wellingtons. "Well, so I did. I was forgetting." So, a guided question. Okay. What do you think Tolly would see if he looked out of the window when it wasn't flooded? Okay, so I've put this extract of the text here so that you can read this to try and find the answer to the question. Pause now and have a go. So for me, I've circled spikes of grass, shapes of the lawns and flower beds, and garden. Okay, so my answer, there's more than one part to this answer. Because when they look out the window, they are seeing spikes of grass sticking through the edge of the water, the shape of the lawns and flower beds that surround the house, but also the general garden in itself. The next question is, what is the linnet and how old is this one? So again, I've screenshot this part of the text so you can read through it and see whether you can find that. Search for the word linnet, but then how old? So for me, the key word here would be old. Pause now and have a go. Right, so I found the word linnet. Okay, now linnet does appear several times within this text, so it's not the most useful word, but it does show that I'm in the right part of the text, okay? There's always a boat called the linnet. So that tells me that the linnet is a boat, okay? Then if we go down, that's right, said Boggis. There's always a linnet. This one's new, leastways not more than 20 years old. So 20 years is a time reference. So in this case, it's the age of the boat. So the answer is the linnet is a boat. It is not more than 20 years old. So who do you think Toby might be? So again, I've taken the extract of the text to help you to find that answer. Pause now and have a go. Right, so in this case here, it was this phrase here at the top. Isn't he the fair spit of his grandfather? Okay, and then he gets called Toby at the end. Okay, so I get the feeling that Toby is Tolly's grandfather. Okay, it's the one that Tolly looks like. Hence, he's the fair spit of, means he looks the same as, looks very similar. So your task, you've got a series of questions on your sheet that looks like this. It's why is Mr. Boggis wearing long wading boots? That's the long Wellington boots. Give another name by which Master Toseland calls this story, is called in the story. Isn't he the fair spit of his grandfather? Might he be the same comeback? In this sentence, the fair spit of his grandfather means the same as. So tick one box. Okay, so work your way through those. Draw the lines to match up the boxes. Number 5, this story was written over 60 years ago. Find a piece of evidence that shows that the setting of the story is not in modern times. So that matches some of what I was saying in my initial prediction. Tick 4 of these statements to create a summary of the story so far. So it's 4 boxes only. So read through them all first. Find out which ones of these are the most important parts of the story so far. That's it, guys. Good luck. Cheerio.